I've got some good news for you. We've already taken care of the if statement. And in this lesson, we are going to be looking a little bit at the if statement and then else if and else as well. So else provides us an alternative if the condition isn't true. We can have additional statements. And then else if gives us an option to provide an additional condition and have different statements. So just like this example here, where we've got our if condition that we were working in the last lesson, and if we wanted to output something if this is not true, so we can basically say if this is true, then we do this, else we do something else. And we can also add to this by saying if this is true, do this, else if this is true, do this, else if this is true, do this, and we could go so on and so on. And then lastly, we can have an alternative. If none of those were true, then we have our last part of it where we've got our else. So the statement executes and checks to see truthy conditions, and if the condition is falsy, it moves to the next statement that can be executed. And then if we have an else, that provides us an alternative output if there is nothing that has been true. So we check to see if a number is greater than 10 and message accordingly. And we also have a condition that if it's equal to an output, put in a message. So that's the challenge for this lesson. I'll give you a quick sneak peek where we're going to take and make use of if, else if, and else statements. And you can try it at first with just the if, else, and then also add in the else if afterwards. So that's that middle one. So go ahead, pause the video, and I'll work through this example coming up. Hope you had an opportunity to try this out. So first of all, we need a number to work with. How about we work with 5 since we've been working with that before? We need to check to see if the number is greater than 10, and we know it's not greater than 10, but we'll output a message in the console, and we've seen in the last lessons that yes, we do update that number. So greater 10. And this is where we can utilize else. So first we're going to output a message. So what do you think is going to happen here? What are we going to see in the console? When we refresh it, we see that was false. If I change it to 15, refresh, yes, greater than 10. So we also maybe want to have another condition to see what if it's equal to 10. So if we have 10, then 10 is not greater than 10. So that's why we get this one as not showing up, and that's false. And so we're left with the else condition. So we want to add one more, and that's where we can do so else if, and then we can apply the condition, and it's that same curly brackets to run the block of code. So in here, we can say they are equal, because that condition is true. So let's try that out. And of course, we do need to add in our condition. So check num equal to, and we can do an absolute, make sure that it is equal to an absolute 10. So they are equal. So that also means that if you did a string value for 10, you're not going to see that, and we're going to get returned back that was false.